Hi everyone, welcome to InfoSec Train. Today we have our cybersecurity expert Mr. Ashish Rawat to share some insights on the Wayback Machine. Hi Ashish, are you excited for the session?
Sure, Devyani, and the pleasure is all mine for you to invite me to this session.
Let's see what it is and how it works.
So, Devyani, in this session, we are going to dive into the Wayback Machine. And in this session, we are going to cover this agenda for the Wayback Machine. So let me just go to the agenda slide here, where we will introduce to the Wayback Machine. We will see a practical on the Wayback Machine, one case study, and then after seeing the GUI of the Wayback, we will look into the CLI and the extensions of Wayback Machine, some alternatives for the Wayback Machine, and at the very last, the conclusion. So let's start with our introduction to the Wayback Machine. So here we know that in our web, in the internet, everything is constantly changing. In fact, in the online today, the websites that we are visiting today may be completely deleted the next day, edited the next day, or even lost tomorrow. And this phenomena, it is called as your link rotting. And this is very massive challenge for researchers, for journalists, and for investigators. So to combat this digital decay, we are relying on the cornerstone of our web preservation, that is internet's time machine, that is Wayback Machine. And this Wayback Machine, it is founded by the Internet Archive. The Wayback Machine is the world's largest digital archive. It is containing unbelievable, you can see here, 860 billion pages. And it is freezing all the websites, the historical websites. It has taken the snapshots of those websites in this internet. And it has been existing till from your 1996. It has been taking snapshots of all the websites on the internet. So here in this session, we are going to cover the Wayback Machine from OSINT perspective, that is your open source intelligence. For example, Divyani, suppose you're having some information on the InfoSec Train's website in the About team, and what can happen is the Wayback Machine took the snapshot of that website. Later down the line, suppose your information written on that website was redacted. Maybe there was some personal number or your personal address in the About section. It was redacted in the live website. But as an attacker, when I'm performing this OSINT, I will use this Wayback Machine to go back in time, to go to the website of infosectrain.com in that time when your information still existed. That is the role of Wayback Machine. So even if the victim deletes his tweet, deletes his post, still the historical truth will remain intact. We can go back in time and look into the Wayback Machine and can retract, or we can say we can once again exfiltrate that deleted data. So here we are going to use the Wayback Machine, which allows us to visit archived versions of the website. So first of all, via GUI, we will go to the Wayback Machine, and I'll open my browser here. So I will write web.archive.org. I'll press enter. And this is our Internet Archive Wayback Machine. So just for the example here, this is the infosectrain.com, the homepage of infosectrain.com. And that example that I just discussed here in the About InfoSec Train, we can see the information about InfoSec Train. We can see our team information as well. Now, what we can do is to showcase the practical of that example that we just discussed. So here, suppose let us say any team member's information is written. Now, I will use Wayback Machine. So as an attacker, I will perform the OSINT. I will write here infosectrain.com, the domain name of the website, and I'll press enter. Now we can see here, Devyani, that between 2013 to 2026, this website has been snapshotted 232 times. We can see here, like suppose if I want to go to 2020 and I want to see how the website used to look like. So here I can just go to the click on 2020 and I can just click on the timestamp, let us say on January 13. Here, this is the snapshot when it was taken. So I'll just click on this snapshot. And we can see here, Devyani, that this is how the InfoSectrain website used to look like in 2020. So Devyani, as I told in the hypothetical scenario, can as an attacker, if your personal information, even though it has been redacted and removed from the live website, can Devyani, yes or no, can I go back in time and can I still look that deleted information of yours from the about team section? I can do that. So this is the power of Wayback Machine. And let us see a practical example. So here we will be discussing it from the attacker perspective. And here in this practical example, this is our victim, which is our Kate here. And we have started following Kate on the social media to gain insight into her and her family life. And we have decided to try our luck with Wayback Machine to see if there is any information that we can use to our advantage. Now, just to showcase the impact of this, so there is a question from my end that has Kate ever slipped up in her picture perfect image? So let us just paste the link of this Kate profile into the Wayback Machine. And this is the Kitty Kate's Twitter profile looks like, where she is posting some tweets on the Twitter. We can see here, these are the tweets she has posted. Now, Devyani, she might have posted a tweet, but maybe later on thought that the tweet was not beneficial for her. And maybe she might have deleted it afterwards. So we will use Wayback Machine to go back in time. And maybe if we are lucky, we can visualize that deleted tweet. So what I will do, I'll just simply go to our Wayback Machine here. And I'll simply paste the link for this particular tweet here. And I'll press enter. Now we can go to all the times snaps, all the snapshots that have been taken here in the historical section we can see. But for demonstrating it, so I'm just going to click on the very oldest snapshot that is in 2019. And the snapshot we are going to go for is March 19th. So till it is loading, let us see the question here. The question says that based upon that deleted tweet, what did the Kate break? Her friend's nose, a car window, her arm, a store window. So let us wait for our Wayback Machine. And ma'am, this delay can be cut also, right? From the recording.
Yes.
Yes. And we can see the deleted tweet here, where Kate posted the tweet, oops, let's not tell anyone that was me, where she broke a car window. But later on, she deleted that tweet. But our Wayback Machine already captured that website, that web page. So we as an attacker, we use Wayback Machine to go back in time, and we are able to see this deleted tweet here. So this is how Wayback Machine can be used.
Okay, so Ashish, how can the website owners defend against archiving and remove the existing history?
That is a very good question, Devyani. So here we can have two main lines of defense. First is preventive measure that stop the internet Wayback Machine to crawl and to index the future web pages. That is preventive action we have to take. And another is retroactive action. So what's already been archived, what's already been snapshotted, how we can remove them. So here, these are the two defenses. In preventive one, what we will do is every website it is having robots.txt. So this is an instruction file for all the web crawlers. And in the robots.txt, we will be implementing a condition for our Internet Archive crawler, which is your IA archiver. So here we will make sure in the robots.txt that this crawler is disallowed. So once it is disallowed, so it is going to not archive your website's web pages. And what this robots.txt looks like, Devyani. So here, if I just go for facebook.com, I can see robots.txt file here for facebook.com. And here is the list of all the crawlers on the website on this internet, and the instructions for the crawlers are written in this robots.txt. So same for facebook.com. Majorly all the modern websites are having this robots.txt file. Like if I go for infosectrain.com and if I append slash robots.txt, so we can see for infosec train there's an instruction for all the crawlers listed in this robots.txt. So the preventive measure is we have to block the crawler of Internet Archive and put it in this robots.txt. Then what is retroactive action? In this, we will be sending a request to our Internet Archive, uh, the administrator here. So in that request, we will be writing the exact URL or the entire domain that we want to be excluded. Then the time period. So we saw in our Wayback Machine that here was a time period that the snapshot has been taken of infosectrain.com. So it was between your around 2017 to 2026. So we need to mention the time period that we want all those archived web pages to be removed. So we can mention it here from seeing from this Wayback Machine. And the third thing, very important thing, is the proof of your ownership for that website. So you have to list in that email or attach the registrar receipt or any historical domain invoice is fine also. Then your request when processed, so all the snapshots that have been taken of a website will be removed by this from this Wayback Machine here. So these are the two ways. Now let's move to our next slide. So we have seen the GUI version of how to use Wayback Machine.
Can we
But
pause the recording?
yes,
Can we pause the recording for 5 minutes just?
so we have already seen the GUI version of the Wayback Machine. Now it's time to access this archive via CLI and extensions. Because here, via the CLI, we can analyze tens and thousands of URLs simultaneously. So we can scale up our digital archaeology via our CLI tools, that is your Wayback Py. So here, this is a very, very powerful Python interface for batch processing and advanced API interaction. And this is very ideal for scripting and automating the bulk URLs checks. And this will be helpful for scaling up our Wayback Machine. So we can just simply go to our Kali machine and access the Wayback Py tool here. So I will write Wayback Py hyphen help to see all the major important parameters. And in this, we are having the parameters like what if we want to retrieve from our Wayback Machine the oldest snapshot? So that is hyphen oldest. What if we want to retrieve the newest snapshot of the URL? Hyphen newest. Then we saw that this is our time period. Let us say that we want to retrieve the snapshots which were near 2020 year. So we can see like here some 8 to 12 snapshots in this 2020 that were captured. So via the CLI, how can we just retrieve them? So I can use this hyphen hyphen near parameter. So let's try to use it one by one. So I will write wayback py hyphen u, the URL infosectrain.com, and hyphen hyphen newest. This will retrieve the newest snapshot of infosectrain.com. Then it will take some time. Till then, let me open another tab and write here hyphen hyphen oldest to retrieve the oldest snapshot for infosectrain.com. And
Right.
the third tab where I will write hyphen hyphen near, and let me just put air, which is 2020. So it will retrieve the snapshots near this air 2020. So this makes our job easier. And we can make our job even more easier is that we can also install an extension. So here I've installed an extension with the Wayback Machine. So I just simply have to open the domain here like infosectrain.com, or let us change our domain to another domain. For example, let us go with facebook.com. So I'll just open facebook.com and I'll just press enter. Then in this extension, I'll just click on this extension, and this is our Wayback extension. So I'll just click on this, and if I want to see the oldest, if I want to see the newest, these are the settings we can see in this extension. If I want to see the entire time frame, I can just simply click on this timestamp here. So I've opened this facebook.com. Now what I will do is I'll simply click on the extension tab. I'll click on Wayback Machine, and here we can see different options like oldest, newest that we saw in our CLI also. And if we want to see the entire time range for our facebook.com, so I can simply just click on this calendar of archives, this particular button here, which will redirect me directly to the Wayback official site, and we will be able to see the entire time range. So this is, we can see the entire calendar, and this is facebook.com. So it has been snapshotted. We can see here bit from 1998 to 2026, around 8 million times.
Wow, that's huge.
So as an attacker, if we want to, we can go back in time, and maybe we will, if we get lucky, we can find information about our victim by going back in time and seeing some deleted tweets or deleted posts that are posted by the victim in this facebook.com. So this is our CLI and extensions.
Okay, so Ashish, how can we install Wayback Py and the extension?
Yes. So what we can do simply is we can just write here apt update first to update our repository packages index. And once this is done, so we can simply just write a command that is apt install Wayback Py. And with this, the CLI tool will be installed, and then we can just use this tool, and we can also see the results are also being showcased here by our Wayback Py for oldest, for our newest, and for our near 2020 year. So this is how we can use Wayback Py and install it and use it. Then we have is our extension. So for the extension, we can go to our Chrome Web Store. So let me just here go to the Chrome Web Store, and we can search here for the Wayback Machine. So this is the rating here 4.2 for this Wayback Machine. This is the official extension. We can simply just add it to our browser, and then we can start using it. So this is how we can install Wayback Py and our browser extension. Now, we need to also look into alternatives of Wayback Machine, because what actually happened is that around 2024, the Internet Archive Wayback Machine suffered a very massive cyber attack, and it was consisted of distributed DOS attack. There were many campaigns that were held against this site to take it down, and it also got down temporarily. So there has to be some alternatives also to this Wayback Machine. So we have archive.today and website. Both are alternatives to Wayback Machine. So I can go to this particular archive.today, and in this, once again, we just simply have to write the URL name. So I can write here your www.infosectrain.com. And once again, okay, so let me just pass this captcha here. And here we go. We can see the snapshots of InfoSec Train, how it used to look like. Like this is a snapshot of 2018 that we can see here. So we can see all these snapshots also from this archive.today. Same, we have another alternative, that is your website. So in this website also, we can just simply in our search option, the URL which we want to find the snapshots of. Same way, how we have discussed all these tools, same way we have to just write the URL domain name and just search it. So these are the two tools for Wayback Machine.
Okay. Are there any resources which could provide free archive tools?
Yes, Devyani. So we have one more framework, that is your OSINT framework, open source intelligence framework. And in this OSINT framework, so if I go to the site, we can see all the free tools available, not only for our archiving, but for finding the usernames, finding the email addresses of the victim, your social networks of the victim, people search engine. So these are all the freely tools that are available for each particular OSINT technique listed here. So we are looking for archives. So I will just open the archives. I'll open the web. And in this, we can see these are freely available tools. So we just saw, Devyani, three tools for the moment. That was our Internet Archives Wayback Machine. This is the most popular one. Then we saw your archive today and website. So these are the three tools we saw, but we also have these huge list of archive tools which we can use. And these are available for free. So with this Wayback Machine here, let's conclude our session.
Thank you so much, Ashish, for so much many insights. And bye, guys. Stay tuned with InfoSec Train for more such videos.